Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's now night time, so the tank lights are off, so apologies, but we are just talking about test kits and mainly the Hannah checkers. If you've not used these before, they are great. I've just picked up a handheld nitrate test kit, high range ppm. Just on the test here, as you can see, it's 2.3 ppm, which is good news because it's not too high, and really I want to get that in the sort of ballpark between 3 and 5, but you know, that's fine. Working on this slowly. I'm doing this kind of review on this to see whether it's worth it or not. So I have another test kit here, which is a Salifert test kit. Now the reason I'm using the Salifert is because the coloration on the chart is very good, and it is very well priced for what you get. You get like 60 tests in the Salifert, which is this one, and yeah, it's a great test kit, very easy to use. What you get is just come over here. You're gonna get some powder, you're gonna get some droplets, you'll get the little thing, and the spoon and the instructions, and all you're going to do is fill up 1 ml of water from the tank. You're going to put 4 drops in of the drops. Just give it a quick swirl. Make sure you shake this before you add the 4 drops, so give it a quick shake. Add 1 little spoon of this in, shake it, wait for around 3 minutes, and it will give you the result. Very easy, and you can see clearly the color is very easy to spot. When you got pink, you got nitrates, and we want that because corals need this. I've noticed now, after, you know, it's my 4th year in December of looking after corals, and obviously imbalances with the tank, you need some nitrates. So everyone I've been reading up on it says between 5 and 10 ppm, but it's a preference really. I've seen tanks with much higher ppm and they're doing really well. This color to me on this chart is obviously not 0, it's not 2, so it's in the kind of, I would say, it's really hard to tell because of the light, but this is saying that this color I think is around between like 5 and 10, you know. I mean maybe it looks higher, like one of these colors. Anyway, it turns out it's not as high as that. I thought it was around sort of 10 parts per million, but with the Hannah I've done the check and it's 2.3 parts per million. So I'll just run you through the Hannah checker if you've not seen these before. So basically inside the box, I'll just open this up. Okay, it's like a little padlock box, clips. Inside you'll get the instructions. You'll get the test kits. How many do they give you here? Maybe there's like, I don't know, maybe there's around 8 to 10 test kits here. I'll have to check. They give you the pipette. They give you 2 vials. So this one is I've used for the aquarium water, because I've already done this test earlier. So you put the aquarium water 10 millimeters, okay, up to the line, wipe off any fingerprints off here, get your egg. If I can open this now, Jesus, 1 second. Okay, so you just open the egg up, okay, just like so. This is the other one that I've mixed earlier. So you would basically put this in the aquarium water. Let's turn this off. You would turn it on, press it once. It will say C1, so you close the lid, and then you would press the button, and then you'd take this vial out, unscrew the lid, put one of the sachets inside the aquarium water, shake it up for around 2 minutes, make sure it's clear, wipe any fingerprints off, put it back in the vial, click the lid and hold the button until it starts the timer, 7 minutes. Once the timer's up, it will give you the results, which it did earlier. So this was really handy for me to get this time. I know that I've got a couple of other test kits here by Hannah, and I'll explain these. Obviously you can see what they are, but yeah, the nitrate test kit is really important personally, especially if you're dosing nitrates and phosphates. If you want to see where your corals are sitting at in nitrates, I thought by this test kit personally that this color was around 10 parts per million here, and nope, I'm way below 5, so kind of gives you an indication of where I'm at. Now the reason I know that, even though this test kit looks more pink on the camera, it probably looks around here on the camera, but I've got another test kit for nitrates, which is by Aquaforest, and there I'm sitting between 2 and 5. So the coloration of these charts, it is really tricky by the eye to tell where you're sitting at, and just for, if you just want a preference of where you're at, then that's fine. You could say, well, by this color, for instance, if we didn't know where we were by the Hannah, I would say anywhere between 10 and like 25 parts per million, but I'm not, obviously, and I've done this test with the Aquaforest, and yeah, sitting around here. So it's always good to double check these things and get a couple of different test kits just to see what's happening. You can see there is a pink tinge in there, so you know that gives you a clear indication. I'm pretty sure if this was 0, this would be pretty clear, and even on the test itself it'd be a 0 or whatever it would be showing. They retail around £60. You can get them slightly cheaper than that, but they're just one of those things that you can just buy as you go. You don't need them to start when you start reefing, only when you start keeping coral, and you want to see where those levels are at constantly. If you've got anything dying inside the tank, if you're getting algae growth, just to keep an eye on those levels with these numbers is a lot easier personally. It gives you a readout of a number, and then you can keep an eye on it that way. The Salifert and the Aquaforest, as in the charts, they're great to use as a backup, and also I do use these in between to double check things. The Hannah checker again for the alkalinity is very good, gives me a strong number, which is between 8.4 and 9 usually. At the moment my alkalinity is higher for some reason. On here it's like 9.9, and then on the Salifert test kit it's reading different, so it might be time to change out the battery on this. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think I've changed the battery since I've had this one, and it's been about a year and a half, so that might be the reason why. This is the phosphate checker, low range. This is really good. Obviously again, with these things you get the powder, just like anything else. Just be careful. If you can wear gloves, wear them, and make sure there's no children or animals around when you're doing this, because these chemicals inside the pouches can be, they've got little warning hazard on them. You just be careful, that's all. I use a little funnel and just drop the powder into the funnel and straight into the tube, and then that way you're not really kind of touching anything, and just wash your hands afterwards. That'll be fine. They're pretty much the same. You get 2 vials, you get the egg, and the instructions are pretty much similar to each one of these. And yeah, maybe one day I'll get the magnesium or calcium one, but the main ones I was concerned about was alkalinity, phosphates and nitrates, and that's why I've got these 3 now complete, and I'm pretty happy with them. And it's just good to know exactly where I am. So now I dosed a little bit more of nitrates in a bottle today. It just gives me a clear indication of what's going on in the tank. And yep, I'm really happy. Guys, if you like this video, if you want to know more about these kits, where to get them. In the UK, I'm currently buying from Chartered House Aquatics, but this lot I bought from, especially this one, the Marine Nitrate. I think they were doing a deal, and obviously they are really good. Is Kraken Corals, big support of them because they do a lot of different products. They always inform me, and delivery is pretty swift. And they do different payment methods as well, so it's not restricted. But yeah, guys, you know, if you want to get a serious test kit, and you're keeping coral, you want to know exactly where you are, and maybe you're dosing nitrates and phosphates, then you probably want to get something on this sort of range. Not to say that you can't use the Salifert or the Aquaforest. They're great test kits by any means, or whatever else you want to use out there. This is just going to give you a number indication every time, and then you know where you're set. I wouldn't always rely on these 100%. They are great. As I said, you may have to change the batteries. Just keep an eye on things. Make sure the test kits are cleaned out properly, and make sure you're not contaminating any of the other tubes. So good to wash them out and put them in some RO water. There's the screw at the bottom. When you get the kit, just undo this. This pops out, and then there's a little battery goes in there. It's just a standard AA battery, and yeah, that's it really, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.